Hi guys, this is General Skirmish and this is the People's Interview 2, and with me is Mr. ON Gunsmith. How you doing, bro?
Not too bad, how are you?
I believe you just got a battering from your fellow clan members.
Yeah, it's all in the name of training. So as I don't know what date this will come out, but at present time it's God, what day is it?
I believe it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday, and Christina's going out to France on Sunday for a tournament. So we did some training today, and yeah, it's quite hard work being a training dummy, but that's dedication for you.
No, like I said, you had some interesting teams, plural as in teams. Yeah, do you actually have a fixed team? Because you just seem to sort
of... yeah, no. Okay. Well, I've got a tournament team.
Okay. Anyway, let's go back to the start. So, introduce us, Stiel. So, let's turn the clock back. So, you've literally been involved with KOF pretty much all your, well, forever.
Far enough, long enough, yeah. I did start playing Street Fighter 1, then Year Kung Fu first? Probably Year Kung Fu first.
Oh wow, yes, you
pretty
remember.
Much, yeah. I think the first video game I can think of, I remember walking past a fish and chip shop and I saw, I think it was, funnily enough, it might actually be Ikari Warriors.
Oh, wow, with the actual twisty joysticks? With the
twisty joysticks, and I was
like, those are so rare.
That's a good thing I can remember, but I do remember Karate Champ. But that, I think the first time I saw Karate Champ was in an actual like fairground arcade. When you used to go to fun fairs and it actually had arcades in there with like,
yeah,
they actually had machines rather than just.
Yeah. Are you talking about the same fun fair, the one that used to go to Wanstead Flats, the same one that had that silly little Star Wars ones with the silly little vector graphics? Yeah,
and yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Operation Wolf was the little mini submachine gun.
Operation Wolf. Oh my word, that was nuts. And yeah, those are the days. You playing Double Dragon. Just doing elbow all the way through the game.
Anyway, trying to get back on the KOF. Obviously, yeah, you mentioned Street Fighter 1. Yeah, do you know what the funny thing is? I obviously remember Street Fighter 1, but didn't think much of it. It was like literally at the time of the arcade, it was just another game.
Yeah. But yeah, got to give it credit where it's due. It's like all about the special moves. And I remember all the clones coming out, and played Fatal Fury. I thought, this is pretty cool. And then Samurai Shodown was pretty good, and Fatal Fury Special. That was when things got really cool. And then obviously KOF came out, and that was it really. Yeah.
So you played it from the start, yeah. So 94. I have to admit, I was a bit late with KOF. It was only really 96, which I kind of noticed. And then obviously it was from when I had a Saturn, yeah. Sort of played it in a weird order. I played 96, then I went backwards to 95 and realised, okay, 95 is stupid.
Funnily enough, actually, at the time when we were playing 95, when 96 came out, I was like, what is this? What? No. I actually turned around, I was like, no. And I pretty much left. Actually, it wasn't that long. When I think about it now, it wasn't really that long. It was probably about 6 months. I said, no, I'm not playing 96. And then one day, I was at a friend's house after an interesting party, and turned on 96 since I had nothing else to play. And then I was like, Clark can grab and run and grab, and oh, this is pretty good. And then I was straight back in. 97 came out, I was like, yep, okay, and that's when I started making a website.
Oh, that's true. Actually, funny now you should mention it, because obviously it was only in 96 that suddenly the characters gained the ability to run, because before it was a hop.
That's it, yeah.
Funny that.
Yep.
I think it took Street Fighter, I don't know, almost a decade before they learnt the ability to run.
I thought it was Dash, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had Dash. I think it was only like in 2000, oddly enough, that wasn't even in a true Street Fighter game. Actually, technically, in any of the Street Fighter games, they can't run. It was
just a little dash forward. That was it. Yeah, well, that's it.
No, that's kind of weird, because obviously KOF has always had these mobility options that, well, other fighters have never had.
Yeah, maybe too many, really, too many options, and mobility is a big feature of KOF, and that's the whole mind game, isn't it? It's like, is he going to jump? Is he going to stand still? Is he going to duck? Is he going to roll? Is he going to hyper jump? Ah, jeez, or hyper hop, or yeah, backdash, even backdash as well. It's like too much.
Yeah, getting on to you've been running the longest English language KO website, I believe.
Yeah. There's a few caveats to that, though. I mean, in '97, I started a website called WooTech Corp, which covered KOF and a couple of games, and then it became the KOF and Fatal Fury reference, and then in the year 2000, I officially registered Orochinagi.com.
Ooh.
So it's gone for a few name changes, but yeah.
12 years and still going on, because after it's not going to stop when you move to France, which again we'll get to later.
Yes, no, the internet, funny enough, yes, does allow me to update the website from wherever I am.
I don't know. I think it's kind of weird, because obviously I'm kind of an old guy, but it's kind of nice. The internet does make the world a little bit smaller, because we communicate with guys in America. Like our stream the other day. We were speaking to the professor from Japan. We had a couple of the West Coast players on our stream. It was like, I don't know. I thought that was really nice. It's just sort of shows that our community does actually stick together.
Yeah, definitely. Well, at least when it comes to KOF. But well, then again, of course, there's always politics. But yeah, let's not go into that.
We've covered this in other interviews, especially let's say with Firebug and obviously the answer, but. Yeah, KOF was really big in London, wasn't it, in the late 90s?
Yeah.
It was huge. Let's not. I mean, okay, it might have just been a little microcosm. It might have literally only been Wonder Park, but it was huge.
It was 94 and 95 were especially big, and I remember people were playing. Was it Alpha and 95 at the same time, and big crowds around the machines. 96, not so sure. 97, then we had the start of the big scene down at Namco Wonder Park, and of course it was 98.
Oh yes, 98. I mean, we could fill our whole conversation with just 98 alone, but it was the game.
98.
Oh, we got it there. Thick.
Yeah.
It's it's quite hard now, just trying to work out what was the real charm of 98, because especially by modern game standards, it's not really that advanced. Well, I don't know. It has a lot of advanced features which a lot of games have dropped and everything. Because you can guard crush people in that game and stuff like. Even though you didn't have a bar for it, which is kind of weird.
Oh yeah, it's true. If you think about it, though, if you compare it to 13, it's almost, apart from the hyperdrive system, the same game. They brought in a whole load of features after 98 and 99, the armor system, the counter system, and a striker system, and all that.
Yeah,
I mean, gone full circle apart from the combo system.
Let's just stick with 98 for the time being, because again, it was the game, because obviously it was huge. It was a case of I said in the other review, there used to be just 3 machines for it, but it was so popular they added a 4th one, and I was like, oh wow, this is a big game, because they added a 4th machine. I don't think I've ever seen that before and since. They had to add another machine, and
98 was the culmination of a system that had been slowly evolving over the years, and the funny thing is, you could tell, or rather it made such a great impact after 97, because 97 is pretty much the same system as 98, but the game just looked blatantly unfinished. Some of the soundtracks, you just sit there and it's just.
Oh yeah, I always wondered about 97 soundtrack. The lack of soundtrack, it was ambient.
Yeah, it's like just random noises in the background, like rustling of leaves and stuff.
I think the only team that actually had a soundtrack was obviously the 97 team, where oddly enough they actually each had their own soundtrack, which was kind of weird, because normally teams have a team soundtrack. It was kind of okay. Why is the music changing with every character? That's just
it's crazy. But when 98 came, it was like everyone was like, "This is it." I don't see anything else I want from the system. It does everything I want it to do,
and more. It was like later on, you hold the start button down. It's like all of a sudden, wow, You want that? You want that Terry Bogard? No, you want the real Bout 2 Terry Bogard, which was cheap. What was it? What was it? Or slide into rising tackle. That was just
awesome.
Yeah, that was. I mean, we can just talk about favorite combos altogether. My personal favorite was grab Yashiro. It was just tap forward. I know it was like exactly identical to punch Yashiro, but no, it was just his grab that kicks you and then picks you up.
Nice. Yes. That. Yeah. Those characters. Wow. I can't think of at the time. There wasn't really anyone that wasn't using. I mean, rather there wasn't any character that was not being used. Even Choi, even Chang. You know, some of the most hated characters of KOF history. We had people who were experts with them. And, Shingo was busted. Well, actually, he wasn't as busted as 97 because I swear to God, you did. Yeah, was it? You did quarter circle forward punch, and then you did a second one. You always got a counter hit. It was like, I don't know if it was. I don't. I know it was supposed to be random. I think it was. Yeah, it's kind of random, but wow.
For whatever weird reason, it was literally only what you would get it 2 out of 3 times, and it was like, yeah. Do you know what I loved? After you got the counter hit, you just did it again.
Yeah, that was that. Wow, I missed that. Shingo's crazy, man. When you actually really got to play with him, he was nuts. Just counter. Okay, then counter. Super,
yeah.
and then blockable super as well. SDM, super desperation move.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about. I really don't want to talk about when that 98 turned into 90 down because that was kind of the slide down.
Yeah.
So, okay, one last great bit about 98 was. Again, where do we start? Again, you know, the new face team slash Orochi team. The senior team. Oh God, I love the senior team.
Yeah. Was it Dad's team, Uncle's team? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, they were actually called the seniors team.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. You knew it was a bad game because it was like, was it the very accurate? Well, actually, it was a really good version. The PS1 98 that cost like 50 quid. And I happily paid all 50 quid of my money for it.
That was a pretty good version, actually. It was pretty good. We were kind of all scared that it was going to come out and be quite bad. And the Saturn had already done a really good job with 95. I can't remember anything else, but...
there was no... Yeah, that was rather... Oh, yeah, because obviously the Saturn died at that point. There was no Saturn version for 98, so we had to depend on the PS1 version.
Yeah, and... Oh, that's right. No, there was 96 and 97 on PS1, but... They were like...
they weren't that good. They were not good.
Yeah, but 98 was pretty good, yeah.
Very good version, yeah, because Bulletproof even said himself that was a really good version, and he should know, because obviously he brought the bloody Neo Geo cart for it.
Yeah. No, I did a good... I managed to get a copy and I was analysing it as well. Yeah, I was quite impressed.
I mean, frames were missing, but because it was so good enough, because obviously I was using it to practice, and I went to the arcade, it was like, okay, it works pretty much the same. I mean, obviously, you know, some animations were missing, but still...
Billy Kane was a bit dodgy. And loading time as well was like, oh, man. But...
I didn't... Not, you know what? It's kind of... It's again, because obviously we're old men, it's like... the loading times were not... Well, yeah, they were not that bad. I mean, it's kind of modern time now. Everyone complain about it, but it's kind of weird. Everyone complain about loading times now, but back in our day, it was like,
yeah, well, let's not go way back in time to when loading times were like actually half an hour or something.
When I was thinking along the lines of
cassette tapes.
Games like, let's say, rival schools where you have a 2-player game, you change your characters, you have to wait for it to load up.
Oh no.
So the case of everyone getting slightly annoyed by the loading times in KOF 13, you think, really, guys? Seriously?
Be grateful.
Yeah. I guess we can now talk about the slide down, and then 99 happened.
Yeah, it's yeah, I wonder though, because at that point, I remember I think I dropped out of uni just after that, and everything went nuts. But yeah, I was just wondering if it coincided with just people's lives changing direction or something like that, because a lot of us at the time were students.
That's true.
And
well, it's true, because obviously no, I'm not going to reveal my age, but it was like it was literally I was still a teenager when 99 came. Oh god, that kind of that narrows it down a bit. But yeah, it's kind of true, because I was there. Everyone was initially excited, because I remember buying the Neo Geo Freak. You saw K Dash on the cover. It's like, oh, who is this guy? And yeah, I was there when it first appeared in Casino, and it was like, oddly enough, Simeon was the first person to play it, and oddly enough, was the first one to clock it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just they're just people. The people that like 90, it was like, well, what's going on? What's all this? I don't want this.
Yeah, the strikers. Let's not.
Don't want that, and I don't want this weird. Funnily enough, and this is the start of the kind of hyperdrive kind of cancelling combo system.
Yeah, you had armor and
the armor and the counter system.
Yeah, that was it.
And people just like, this is beyond me. First of all, this is a bit too hard because in 98 the beauty of it is it's like a lot of combos are just like standing C, 2 hit, forward and B or A, and then desperation move, and everyone's happy. But this one you start to do dodge attack. Cancel.
I've forgotten the name of it now. Was it power mode or something like that? Because obviously there were two of them. There was the armor mode, which I never saw anybody use. Yeah, let's say one you glowed red, which is what a lot of people were using if they could be bothered to learn it.
I think it's counter mode.
Oh yeah, that's it. And then armor mode, which I hardly saw anyone use.
Yeah, the yellow one. Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like, yeah, I just remember thinking everyone coming to that and like, no, don't really like that. But I'm wondering if at the same time it's when people started to go off, disappear, go off to some sort of normal life, and kind of stop playing video games. Because even when 2000 came along, I still thought, this crowd doesn't look that big. Because I kind of came back, kind of in and out, but yeah. Yeah,
like I said, it definitely was. It did coincide with Namco closing, although it would have been curious if Namco was still around. Yeah, Wonder Park rather, because obviously Station's still around. God knows why, but anyway, you'll be curious to see if Wonder Park was still open, it had 499 machines, if the crowd would have still been there for that, because that's kind of weird, because obviously the other criticism you could ask was, it's a case of we had 98, which was, well, the equivalent of our Super Turbo, because everyone argued it was a balanced game in that everyone was viable.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. It's the pinnacle, and then after that,
99.
People were not happy. Not happy at all.
Yeah, because obviously they changed the cast around. Either they reduced the cast. Because obviously, so if you played as a new face character, it's like, okay, you have to learn a new character.
Yeah, and then even the new characters, they were just very unconventional for us, because like K-Dash was doing stuff like quarter circle forward and then forward and D. You're like, what? Huh? He's got 2 options. Don't get it at all.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, you're funny you mention that, because when obviously Bulletproof used him for the first time, he did not get his fireball at all. He just used it as a normal fireball. He didn't obviously realise they had follow-ups to it. That was kind of weird, because obviously in hindsight now, they were doing another. Yeah, K was a very, very solid character. He was back then, and still is now.
Yeah. That's the poster.
I guess we should shift on to 2000 since you mentioned it. Let's not be about Bush. That was an awful game.
Well, it's quite simple, really. The infinite striker combos ruined it completely.
I believe you press taunt, you got another striker.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You couldn't just randomly just walk up to someone and press taunt. You'd have to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be standing still and no one's going to be able to hit you, because taunts take a while. And this is KOF, so.
No, funny thing is, despite how awful some of those KOF games were, they did give us cool stuff. Because 99 they gave us the NES team, i.e. K-Dash, Maxima, Whip, which made J-Lo happy for the first half of the decade.
Yeah.
2000 gave us Vanessa, Seth, and Ling, though oddly enough, Ling is nowhere to be seen again for obvious reasons, because he was teeth.
Yeah. Well, he did come back 2002
We're jumping ahead of ourselves. We then have to move on to 2001. What do you have to say to that? Because it was quite an interesting game.
See, now at this point, I was starting to... I kept my hand in KOF at this point, and obviously with the site and stuff. And me and Bulletproof were still now doing a couple of sessions here and there. And 2001 was it. He started using Maximum with a whole load of strikers. It was fun, and I remember they changed up High Den to start doing weird things. And,
High Den became a command character. I think there was a very obvious reason why it was a charge character, because, well, it would be goddamn cheap. Oh, and look, it was.
Yeah, and it was kind of a fan pleaser as well, that one, because obviously there was a whole load of things going on there. Actually, a whole load of things going on with SNKP at that
Yes,
time.
K999.
K999. Well, yeah, and the whole Eolith saga and Brezasoft and who knows.
Oh
what else
yeah,
was
we got to
going on
mention SNK sort of bankrupted themselves because of, well, we can pretty much say it was the failure of their silly Neo Geo Pocket.
And well, it wasn't just that though. It was also the Neo Geo 64.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
Massive
forgot about
investment
that.
into that, and Neo Geo Pocket wasn't doing too bad, I think. But altogether, all kinds of other things were happening.
The Neo Geo 64 was pretty outdated by then. It was essentially an N64 in the arcade.
Yeah, pretty much. And of course, it was very expensive, and they were still going with the cartridge system. So yes, it didn't really take off, although the games were, as usual. Funnily enough, as usual, people at first glance would think, but nowadays, if people play Wild Ambition, they're like, my God, this game is so good. It's a solid game.
Yeah, hindsight, it's kind of weird because it's like, especially at the time, it's like like games like Third Strike. I remember it being massively hated, though still hated by some quarters today. But it's a case of now, it's like, oh my God, bring it back! And obviously we had online edition and all that stuff. It's kind of weird. All these old games suddenly are magically being appreciated. It's like Mark of the Wolf. It's kind of weird because I remember reading reviews for Mark of the Wolves. Everyone said, oh, it's meh. But now all of a sudden it's like it's like the most godlike thing ever.
Yeah. It's funny that people are taking quite a while to really.
Oh dear, is that prophetic, I wonder?
Yeah.
Is KOF falling off?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna hold on to it. Or not.
Yeah, no, it's funny, and it's probably the same thing is happening to 13 at the moment. It seemed okay, but people who really like giving it more than like half an hour worth of play are really starting to actually really like it. And even though there's a whole other billion other games coming out, people are like, you know what, KOF is really good. And I think people are going to take a bit more time to get into it, but when they do, it's going to be a classic. But yeah, Mark of the Wolves, I remember playing that and I was like, this is odd. What is all this parrying kind of thing going on? It's just defend. And I was like, what? I don't have any Terry. I can't use Terry for anything. What is he doing? He's doing all kinds of dash forward stuff. What? Shoulder tackle, what? I can't do power, what?
Yeah, he didn't have rising tackle, even though oddly enough, was it Rock Howard did? But anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. And obviously, 2001 being weird. Obviously, there was a whole host of sins. Not at least, yes, I remember being Foxy being banned.
Yes, SNK, the classic bug testing, which doesn't really extend to testing for infinites. Just want to know if the game works, really. And unfortunately, they program their moves. They don't test them enough to find out if one move can link into another and repeat. Okay, then. Okay,
and that moves us to... and then, obviously, they redeemed themselves by, 2002.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to say as well, remember I was saying 2001 was a bit of a fan pleaser, because I was saying Iori in oh my gosh, was he even in 2000? Yeah. Was he?
Yeah, they all were. Yeah, obviously. 99. But
remember, 99,
he was locked. Yeah, he was locked.
Those two characters, when you start the game, it's like, where's Iori? Where's Kyo? And they're not even there. And you're like,
No, I do believe you had to clock the game and then...
They were time release, and you had to do a couple of things, but you just like, what's going on? There was 2 Kyo clones. You're just like, what is going on with this game? It's quite mad.
I have to admit, I do actually like those Kyo clones.
Yeah, people they became favourites after a while, funnily enough. But so in 2001, then Iori suddenly was able to do crazy stuff again. He became powerful again, where he could do 2 Wreckers and then Dragon Punch, or quarter circle back.
I remember there being kind of weird stuff in 2002. Which...
He could juggle, and then he had his new super desperation move, the big, the follow-up to the super.
But yeah, I remember. I remember because obviously Evo was like limited Japanese, which is a little bit better now. That people spoke really fondly of 2002. It was a massive improvement over the last 2 games.
Yeah, 2002 was a return back to... again, it's like SNK started listening a lot more to the fans. And of course, 2002, New Face team came back.
Okay, you can probably help fill my gap, because obviously at this point I was in university at Southampton. I wasn't actually playing any fighting games at this point. So 2003 and 11 are like massive gaps to me. So yeah, what happened with 2003? Because I never even played it in the arcade over here.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like if you listen to the fans, I guess in a way, most of them will probably tell you just add more characters, you know. But as a game company, they're thinking we need to attract more people, and they have to do that by trying to make things more flashy and more interesting to whatever. And so they're gambling really, whereas the normal fans would be like, oh, just give me more characters and a couple of tweaks, that's fine, don't worry about it. So in 2003, again, they kind of made everything look kind of graphic nice, but then they brought back in the striker system.
They did? Oh, God.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people was like, oh, not again. And but it was now, yeah, no, that's it. Now it was the tag system. It was the beginning of the tag system.
There was a tag game.
The beginning of the tag system. And everyone was like, well, we already told you we don't like these things coming in, and we don't want that. And so the fans was like, right,
so 2003 was not a popular game?
No, it was not.
So that's why I never even saw it in Casino or even Trocadero then.
It was there for a brief time.
Yeah, now move on to 11. I literally only played 11 in Trocadero for one game, and then literally I came back the next week, it was gone.
Yeah.
Was it that bad then?
And for us, well, that's the thing. I don't know. After 2003, I was just like, I've had it, man. I'm just going to play 98 on GGPO, blatant. And yeah, the funny thing is, again, 11 is now a cult game. 11 was the improved version of the tag system for 2003, and
it had some really interesting, weird. Yeah, a lot of people said it was quite convoluted because you had some really convoluted defensive options, and you had the so-called leader Neo Max, where you had to pick a leader or something like that. So yeah,
I think it had a fifth button. It's got a fifth button as well.
A fifth? Whoa, yeah. That is like blasphemy.
Yeah, and you know, that's it. I was like, what? No.
So where does 11 stand then?
I don't know, man.
Oh, you were out of that then as well.
I was out of it. I was like, no. But of course, you know, like I said, it's heavily played in Korea. And,
yeah, I heard about it. And you have a crazy version of Kyo that both has records and fireball, which actually sounds quite godlike.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, nutty. Probably is quite a lot of fun actually. I did try it, but I was like, no, I just don't. The feel of it wasn't quite right for me.
Yeah, like I said, I only played it. Yeah, literally I only had the chance to play it one weekend. Then it was like, where'd it go? And then obviously this kind of recent. I think it was like 2009 or was it 2008? Yeah, KOF 12, where all of a sudden, oh my god, but they've now entered the HD age.
Yeah. It was like one last push, I think, really, and it's like, wow, they're gambling again. They're gambling again because because I think was it 2003 was the last Neo Geo KOF. Yeah, and then 11 was on the Atomis Wave, and then you had Neo Wave, KOF Neo Wave.
Oh yeah, the little games in between. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then they made their push with Maximum Impact.
You know, I actually quite like Maximum Impact. I mean, obviously it suffers from the same problem that a lot of people said about Third Strike. They kind of wish it wasn't a KOF game.
Funnily enough, what do you think is the biggest selling game biggest selling KOF game?
It's the Maximum Impact series, isn't it?
It's Maximum Impact. You know why? Had a television advert. And from that really crappy television advert, people actually bought that game. And I'm just like,
okay, I'm going to have to check out that advert. I don't know, I thought it was an alright game, but again, it's just suffered from... It was a case of, okay, this is weird. It's like every character has got like sort of Dead or Alive style, sort of funny, chainy combos, but they still got their own special moves. It was quite warped.
Yeah, but you know, it's as SNK was trying to do all this time, make something new, interesting, flashy, and with a TV advert, it worked. Fans, no. Fans like no. But who cares? It sold. Sold loads of copies.
There was even an arcade version of it, I believe, which I think they just essentially removed Armored Ralph. I remember that. Yeah, you had an armored Ralph. Apparently,
Ralph
who could
was
not.
sick.
Yeah, it was kind of broke. For those that don't know, essentially, he had auto guard all the time,
Yeah, something like that.
so he could not block, but he kind of did not need to because he would just hit you.
Yeah.
I think was it something stupid along the line? I can't remember now. Did he actually also? You could not actually even throw him either.
I don't know. But I remember playing him once. I thought, wow. So I thought was wow. This game is a mash.
I have to admit, up until
mash pot.
up until 12, I've always I don't know. I mean, Ralph in 12 was kind of alright, but I don't know. Because the most godlike thing I remember about Ralph in 99, which one great thing was, his auto guard tackle. It was like, oh wow.
Oh yeah, the tackle. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Quite annoying then when you missed though, because the recovery was like so long.
Yeah, but when it connected, it was godlike.
Oh, yeah. But see, those are the times again. You know, we were not really ready for the cancelling and stuff in that way.
I know. You're just right. In 2001, when Galactic Phantom was just a normal special move.
Oh, blimey! You're just like, what? It didn't cost anything. But I mean, really, you're going to sit there and block that. You deserve to get hit.
And I guess I guess we moved the clock nicely to 13.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously had a bit of a shaky start with the arcade version and the long, emphasis on the word, quite long delay between the infinitely better console version, which a lot of people are saying they should just rename it KOF 13 Ultimate Match, because it's just essentially it is just an entirely different game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say Ultimate Match because, well, I was about to say no extra characters, but there are
quite a lot. Oh, actually, we're missing out. Oh yeah, that's it. Then in between this dark era, what I would say, well, we can call it the dark era of the not so great KOF games. We had the Ultimate Matches, obviously 2K2 Ultimate Match, 98 Ultimate Match, which is kind of weird.
Well, yeah, there it goes. And it's like, after you've done your money-making venture, it's like, okay, let's go back to the fans and make some money off them. And that was it. 98 Unfortunately, when it came to Gooch 2, they stuck it on a crappy cabinet. Couldn't really do anything on the sticks. The screen was kind of broken, and I was like,
Yep, it's good. Yep, it's good.
Ya.
Yep, it's Good Street, the infamous casino, as mentioned in my previous podcast and all that. Yeah, damn shame. Although, by the sounds of it, I probably wouldn't have liked it, because apparently they toned down Ralph. Because he was my favourite character in '98. You could just win by one button.
Yeah, well,
that's quite big of me, because obviously my execution is quite brass, but you don't need execution with Ralph. You just need to press that button.
Yeah. The 98 again came at a time where it was a bit too late, and this is actually the time where definitely I felt, and I could see that a lot of people had left the scene and got on with some sort of other thing, or just busy with a life. And after all of that time, 13, and maybe just after 12 actually, started to see people coming back. They had their little gap all settled down for some reason, and they were able to spend more time on video games. It's like walking around in the attic or something, and they find the Dreamcast and dusting it off, like, oh, video games, yeah, I remember these things, they're quite good fun.
Well, like I said, like I said, we'll just bring the clock right to the present. Obviously, console version, it was quite a long way. Yeah, obviously you did the podcast with Simeon a while back saying, okay, where's KOF 13? Where's KOF 13? Obviously, it just landed for us 4 months ago. 4 or 5 months ago, but yeah. And yeah, what can I say? It's a very, very good game. And again, we're kind of living in a slightly different era now, because obviously it's been covered with streams and stuff, and it's finally been picked up in America, and it looks very promising. And you know, from our own perspective, we've seen a lot of fresh blood. What can I say? They love it. I mean, I love it. And funny you should mention the old heads coming back, because I met Damien. I don't know if you remember that white guy Damien. Who always used to go rags at KOF if it wasn't going his way.
Okay.
It's like met him at one of the Dragons Den. It was like, wow, literally I had not seen that guy since Casino in the 90s. And he just said it himself that this is his best game since '98.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely. And it surprises me how I couldn't do anything when I was really. I could do anything. Like I said, with all the new systems, I was like, I can't do any of this. But today, I can actually do quite a lot of the combos now, and all it is just simply just having the little time to practice and the maturity I think that goes with it from being older. And I'm quite impressed actually by some of the younger players that have come on. They actually, well, they're young, I suppose, but they can do all of it already. And I'm like, wow, what are they going to be able to do later? That's amazing.
Definite. But what was it? Yeah, like I said, we should clear up a lot of stuff like KOF 13. It's a hard game and all that. It's actually not really. You actually kind of think about it. We're quite spoiled because I admit, my execution is brass, and I've always had difficulties doing, was it quarter circle back and then half circle forward. But it was quite nice. They gave you an alternative input, which is just half circle back twice and then forward. It's like helps me a ton. It's like, oh wow. I wish I had this in '98, because it was a case of I would always be got like on the right hand side, but then when I come to the left hand side, I'm dead because I can't do that execute. Yeah,
there's loads of stuff in there, and SNK have been shoving out tutorial videos, although it's in Japanese. We kind of can get most of it, and it's on one hand it's really hard, but on the same time you put some practice in it and learn about the tips and tricks. It's actually not that bad at all.
Again, we just live in such a different age now, because once upon a time the only information we got trickled out of was it Madman's Cafe or something like that. Probably only that, or Game FAQ, that Kyle Megumi guy. I've kind of remembered reading his '98 stuff and all that, and
EGM,
stuff like that. But now it's like you just go to YouTube and find it all. That's it. Because obviously, was it even back in the day? I paid like a tenner for Arcadia magazine, Neo Geo Freak. I mean, it's like 20 quid now just to buy the magazine. But you kind of think it's kind of silly because all of that information's outdated. They've already, literally there's new stuff all the time, and it's not Japanese finding it. It's Americans. Rogue Yoshi on the East Coast and stuff like that. It's interesting times, because obviously it's just an entirely different game from way back in the '90s when technology, info, and all that was a trickle, but now it's like a virtual torrent. And
kind of at the same time, I'm not sure it's as good as it was back then in '98, because in '98 we had a lot of users that wanted to share information. Looking around so far, I've got a lot more people who just want to get information rather than share it. Back in the day, people over in GameFAQs, people were competing to release an FAQ on KOF.
Okay.
Now, there's probably a lot of politics behind what's going on at GameFAQs right now. So I'm not going to go into that, but there's not. And as well, like where are all the fan websites of KOF? There's a Rochinagi, there's Dream Cancel, there's what else?
I do actually have to admit, because obviously I'm a content producer myself, I was actually running out of ideas where to submit my videos, because I just pretty much, I've gone to a Rochinagi, gone to Neo Empire, which, well, yeah, obviously that should be my primary service, because obviously they're UK players and that. Dream Cancel, then Shoryuken, and it was like, okay, I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, and for a dedicated KOF website, it's in English. There's a couple, like, I've forgotten the names right now, but there's a couple in different language, like from Brazil and Mexico, and
I might I don't know, use Google Translator and hit them up.
But dedicated KOF sites, it's just a Rochinagi and Dream Cancel. And back in the day, we had tons of KOF sites. It's just every kid would just chuck up things and put all kinds of random stuff on their sites. So it's a bit different today. There's definitely still a lot of activity on the internet, but the attitude is not the same. There's a lot more, and obviously if you look at the games today, you can see there's a lot more laziness out there. And the people who like KOF are people who work hard.
No, I can definitely attest to the fact that you've been running the tourneys, rather really successful one at SVB. 80 people and stuff like that. Obviously it was free, but still.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean, actually, no. The people I'm talking about, the players, the people who play.
Oh yeah, we should not. Yeah, like I said, because obviously, if you're watching this interview, you'll probably see the series of matches. Yeah, some of the fresh blood, they are pretty decent. They are like, oh wow, well.
Yeah, it takes. I think, you've got people who just pick up 13 and just like, yeah, nice, grab HD graphics, ooh, it's beautiful, looks like anime, wee, and then that's it. But the people who can play 13 and get good at it, they're people who work hard, because you have to work hard to understand the system of 13. They're proper players, proper fighting game community members, and kudos to them. That's all I can say. If you can play KOF, you're a player. And respect to you, because KOF doesn't allow you to mash.
Well, that's the contentious point about KOF, because I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I know people should not exaggerate. Yeah, it is. It's not that hard a game, but it's still a lot more harder than some of the games that are out there.
Definitely, I'm probably the hardest.
Maybe. I don't know, because obviously I played Guilty Gear, I played Blaze Blue. I think Blaze Blue is still actually a little bit more difficult, because obviously you got to learn. Obviously, because obviously HD combos are essentially obviously you need 4 bars, whereas obviously in something like Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, you can do those long combos all the time, and you can confirm them off like jabs, whereas in KOF, no, punish or whatever. Or if you're a master of linking, then yeah, maybe, but obviously I'd like to see.
So is it, so you can do those combos all the time, so is that then easier?
Well, no, because it's a natural chain combo game Well, maybe in like Guilty Gear, you can do sort of really damaging stuff pretty much into death, whereas in something like Blaze Blue, because of the really convoluted damage scaling system, which is one of the reasons why, like I say, that's for another day. Why I fall out with that game is because obviously you do a long damaging combo, but it doesn't really take off that much damage, so you then do another long damaging combo. Whereas in KOF 13, no, you do a long damaging combo, they tend to die.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Well, obvious reason, because it's a team game, and obviously you have to moving along.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm somewhat optimistic for KOF, because especially since MLG has picked it up and has put a huge pot.
Yep, that's the turning point.
So it's controversial, because obviously it's MLG. It's not the fighting game community.
It doesn't. Well, yeah, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because whoever picks up KOF after MLG will find the fighting game community. I don't see what they're going to do, just hanging around people who play StarCraft. No offense to them, but they're not going to learn anything from MLG unless MLG has big plans to set up some sort of guiding website or something, which would be absolutely great.
It's just, well, obviously the complaint about MLG is a really easy example is, an MLG tournament, you don't actually have casuals. You just turn up and play like the treasure sport, which to us, that's kind of harsh, because obviously fighting game tournament, you always play casual. You go out, you play casuals, you maybe play some money matches. So obviously I don't think that will roll in the so-called professional leagues, but
well, if you think about it, I mean, if you thought about like any other kind of tournament for a sport, I mean, like karate or something, people don't come out and, hey, let's spar a bit before we actually do our tournament match. No, it doesn't really happen. Or judo is not going to happen like that, is it? And in Japan, of course, that doesn't happen. You go, you do your match, one match, none of this double elimination or best of 2 or best of 3. It's one match. And you win or you lose, and you go forward, and that's it. And from a professional's point of view and from an organizer's point of view, that is actually the best thing to do. You can get the most amount of players in, most amount of games in, everything's done, everything will finish on time. Whereas the fighting community, we want to have some fun. We want to give everyone the most value for money for their entrance price and their entrance fee. So we'll do groups, double elimination, first to 2, casuals over here, talking, tutorials, having a good time, burger van, all kinds of nutty stuff.
Yeah, but that burger van at SVB was actually quite cool though. But
absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome
it was the sole caterer of the tourney, and they were making a massive packet for, well, they couldn't be asked to go around the corner further to the store. But anyway, that's something else. But
so we'll see, really.
Well, again, it's been picked up for Evo, and But I think, as you said before, it has just been the case that games have turned up at Evo, and then the next year they're not there anymore.
Well, yeah. As you were saying, like KOF 13 has been. Well, I mean, yeah. It's the funny thing is like SNK were churning out KOF every year. Yeah, on
They
the
changed
dot.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and now they took their time. They thought, right, okay, let's finish this first, and then bring it out. And even then, it got delayed. And then we got the 1.1 version, and then we got the console, and that got there, and then finally it came out, and yay!
I'll be honest, if they made a rubbish game for the console version, I would have been massive, but I'm quite glad they took that extra time to add those extra things, because all the little changes they've made, like, you know, even something as simple as though some may say it's overpowered, but, you know, something as simple as, being able to combo after a throw, you kind of think, wow, what is this? But, you know, it's been done in anime games, especially like something like Blaze Blue, or maybe, did you do that in Guilty Gear? I can't remember, but it's like, it does add a unique, you know, element of play, because, you know, obviously Benimaru was alright, but now he's like, well, he's beyond alright now.
Yeah.
You know, tap throw pretty much into death.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with, because you've got 3 characters, so you've got 2 chances to redeem yourself, and if you're falling for it again, then you kind of deserve to sort of die.
Yeah. But saying that, I mean, after Evo and MLG, it doesn't really matter if KOF 13 stops being played. It's done. It's you know, the average kind of time for a game now, with the amount of games that are released, it's like 3 months.
Yeah, that is probably one of the... It's a damn shame KOF 13, the console version, is coming out now, because there is just a virtual torrent of games coming out. It's, I think somebody equated to what's happening in like the first-person shooters. There's literally one coming out every week, which I'm pretty sure there is, but there's only really 2 games that matter. And sadly, it might be the same case with fighting games, where there's a new game coming out every month, but there's still only just 2 games that matter, which usually have the word Capcom written on it. But
yeah. But like I said, I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, KOF's had a very good run now, really. I mean, it's still building steam, and there's still going to be, I think, there's still going to be obviously a now even larger base of fans who will continue to play this until the next. I can attest
to how hardcore KOF players are, because obviously, damn shame we don't have a Rochanagi member, Giga D, or J-Lo as I like to call him, because he's just been eternally playing Stone at casinos forever. It's like every time I popped out, it's like, oh, there's Jamie and Stone. Okay. And then I turn it off again another month later. Oh, they're still playing. So we should never underestimate the persistence of KOF players.
Yeah, they're a special breed, definitely.
And especially, again, if you see our matches I'm going to upload, you know, me and Kage and all that, he swears by the game now. He really, really loves it. So I can definitely see him sort of finding his own equivalent of Stone, maybe playing Amin to sort of finally defeat K-Dash, which may happen. I'll record it if it does, but yeah.
Yep, well, that's it, isn't it? It's and that's the great thing about KOF. We can just keep learning one character and learning how to fight one character, and then just pick another one, because there's so many, and we're all still on just scratching the surface of what we can do with these guys. So SNK, I think, is going to do very well with KOF sales this year, because after Evo and after MLG, so at that point,
like, it's done more than enough. It's done, but I don't know. I don't want to sound like that, because I really do love this game. I do really see still myself playing itself down the line, and
yeah, no, I think it will. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure that after that, with the sales that they'll make, they'll be well equipped for 14, and that's going to have to. Well, they'll plan for that to come out. Obviously, there's still whenever SNK plan to bring out a game, it doesn't matter when it is or how long they delay it for.
Funny you should mention 14, because I think that was one of the criticisms that I think especially Bulletproof mentioned about K2A UM. There was quite a lot of characters in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I can't even remember what was the character roster in K2 Ultimate Match.
Yeah, but the thing is, nobody really minded because the whole point of is Ultimate Match. It's like we knew it was like coming to the end of it. It's like, and again, it's like this is what the fans wanted. We want same game, some tweaks, and more characters, and we got loads of new characters, and we got all the old favourites that we wanted to see come back. And KOF 14 is going to be, well, hopefully, and I think, well, we'll see. It should be coming to that kind of point where you kind of see now old favourites coming back.
Oh yeah, like obviously Seth, Vanessa, Ramon, or obviously Billy Kane will have their two teammates back, even though they'll have to explain. Okay, why is Yamazaki and Blue Mary rejoined again?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
And obviously with the timeline thing, they've now got an excuse to bring back the New Face team, which will make you happy.
Well,
Shelby will return. Yeah.
No, not really. I think the only way to bring them back is again have a dream match. They're dead. But of course, then again, you got Vice Mature. They're dead anyway, so whatever. It's storylines. You can bring up some rubbish. That would be nice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just wrapping this up. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing this interview now is because you're going off to France.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be the end of Orochanagi because you can remotely operate it from France and pull the strings.
Yeah. I'm not sure what will really change apart from me showing my face at every single KOF session. Yeah, that might be a bit more tricky, but as long as I can find a decent job in France, I'm going to spend my money on getting a lovely little ticket back over for the tournaments. And,
well, on the plus side, you won't have far to go to Stunfest.
Yeah. You might hear a certain English person giving commentary on certain French tournaments, but we'll see. Yeah, and then also obviously that means with me being over there, it's going to be
yes, the proof being Michelle's. Yes,
yeah,
shout outs to Michelle.
It's not even really about the level. It's just simply the thing is big. I mean, we had for the French, when we were sorting out the pre-orders for UK and France with Rising Star Games. Rising Star Games told me that basically they had to increase the size of the pre-order for France 3 times.
3 times.
Game
Wow.
sold well. It sold well.
Wow.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna I'll get to find out what properly is going on in the scene, where people hang out, where they do their sessions and stuff. And if that's not happening well enough, I guess I'll have to set up my own.
Covering a game that I liked and everything. I just want to thank you for helping me out with getting all this content and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, it was our pleasure, really. Thanks for trying to break your back while bringing all the equipment around to certain events and stuff. And I guess thanks from the community anyway to let them be able to see what we're doing. And it shouldn't be the end of it, really.
No. Like I said, I'll do everything I can. Events, whatever. I'll cover it.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, dude.